You mentioned systems and documenting the systems and having that operational manual. Where do you see the roadblocks there? What have you guys put in place to systemize?
Yeah, I would see a common theme here, George, in the sense that oftentimes when people look at us as martial arts instructors, they feel like we have such few working hours. You come on, you teach from 4, finish teaching at 7:30 or 8:30, and then off you go home, and you have all this time. But as you can see, setting up all these things, whether it's instructor development, whether it's running ad campaigns and leads, these are additional projects that constantly have to be happening to be able to lay the foundations for growth, right? To be able to create the assets within your school outside of the mats itself, so that the school can then be thriving as an autonomous organization, ultimately without you. And that then segues into our systems, right? And so creating those systems, which is essentially having processes in place to be able to run the day-to-day of your school. And the best way to look at this is if someone was to walk into your organization, do you have a central point that they can look at to be able to then teach a class if needed, or run the administration side if needed, or maybe do some sales calls if needed? In terms of creating systems, anything that has to be done more than twice, 2 or 3 times, should have a written process for it. And then there are many tools around this, whether it's screen grabs and doing videos around how all of this should be done. But it's just taking the time for it to be done, and then following those systems and making sure there's some accountability around those systems is what also has to be done going forward. It's critical. And this is like creating the recipes. If you had a restaurant type business, what's the recipes for success in terms of the food that you create? It's the same thing in our martial arts business, if not more so, because we don't have that actual physical product. So we have the intangible service that we provide. How can we systemize that, bottle it, and then recreate that magic across multiple days and locations?